There were once 3 brothers named Gruff who lived together on a farm far away from the nearest town. Although they were brothers, they were very different from one another. The eldest, Carl Gruff, was incredibly strong. As well as being the oldest of the brothers, he was also the tallest and broadest. The middle brother was called Gruff. He was nowhere near as strong as his older brother, but he was extremely brave and was willing to take great risks to bring respect and glory to his name. The youngest was Gruff. He was of much slighter build than either of his older brothers. He was not very strong or terribly brave, but he was far and away the cleverest of the Brothers Gruff. The 3 brothers worked well together, each appreciating the talents of the others. Their farm was well run, and every few months the brothers would travel to the town to buy provisions. While they were gone, the workers they employed looked after the farm. The journey to the town was long, but the brothers enjoyed having time together away from the farm. Part of the journey to the town wound through a narrow valley with steep rocky walls that made the whole place seem desolate and grey. The valley was a stark contrast to the rolling open countryside of the rest of the journey. One sunny afternoon, the brothers were travelling through this valley on their way back home. They were in high spirits, having found a provisioner who had arranged for everything they'd bought to be delivered to their farm in the next few days. Free of the burden of carrying their provisions home themselves, they walked through the grey valley without any undue apprehension or caution, expecting to emerge into the rolling countryside in a few hours. But halfway through the valley, Carl stopped. "I don't remember seeing that before," he said, pointing to something a short way up the side of the valley. Mechlin and Ney shielded their eyes from the sun, which was low in the sky and shining along the pass. They could just discern a large, spherical object that was almost as grey as the rocks surrounding it. The way the sun glinted on its textured surface suggested it was made of metal. They approached the sphere curiously, but they'd gone only a few steps when they found their path was blocked. It was as if there was an invisible wall in front of them. "But there's nothing there," Mechlin said, as he pushed at the solid air. Carl battered the invisible wall with his huge fists, but it didn't give even under his assault. "We'll just have to go back and find a way around it," Ney said, as practical as ever. But they found they could not go back either. Another invisible wall blocked the way they'd just come. They felt all around themselves and soon discovered that they were trapped inside a small area. While his brothers were testing the limits of the invisible cage they now found themselves in, Ney's noticed a movement. He alerted Mechlin and Carl, and as they stopped to look, a section of the metal sphere, which was just ahead of them, swung open like a door. Out of the sphere stepped a figure. It began to walk towards them. As it approached, it moved out of the bright sunlight and into shadow, and the 3 brothers Gruff could see it more clearly. "A troll," Carl declared. It certainly looked like a troll. The figure wore dark armor of a type the brothers had never seen before, and carried its helmet under its arm. Small, deep-set eyes stared out from a head that seemed to be joined directly to the body. As it stared at the brothers, the creature licked a bloodless tongue over its thin lips and gave a rasping sigh of satisfaction.